You are listening to the Pinax Report.
Pinax Report.
Pinax Report.
The Pinax Report.
Pinax Report.
Pinax Report.
Live only on Pinax TV.
Sanjay kese enko ahwefo ni Ghana fo nyina ena me ne wo kase de kamia say mampani John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency wode ne ho eya to asemu yenyina yenim se beye na wotwe miensa enantem ni no Iran ene Israel na chese ekon kese pa ena na eda wo ntem a ebeto odwa se eye US President Donald Trump akwakoto bomb bi ebusia na nya asem keto na no na ne ye de ete ahodwo ye mpe ye ho asem Ghana ye mampani wode ne ho akofore sansemu amafo chemu se ye mpese Donald Trump ede ne na ebufu hyew ebeba ye so nti mampani ye srewa ebe ya twatwa kasa no so ewo US ene Iran insensem we ehu menua be ma Prez ewa ha Chris me ma kwa Abamfamba studios ha
Yeah, me just so.
ya tete se ye mampani John Dramani Mahama din nsem bia betudwa efa eye Donald Trump the decision bia will take care about Iran and Israel war no den ekoso.
Yes, so President Mahama was in Brussels. Summit be our attendee and or passing the comments. So it was a summit that they were doing a contribution. Okay. So I think we'll go to the video and then we'll see. So our contribution and our boss say, I mean, it was a shade that made me like I say he was throwing to countries or trying to say ye pesca kosayare, but your countries means so when you scam on the top say weapons ye usually a nipa. And it will be better to use that money. Say they be fair nipa more than say we use scam. So this is a comment that he passed that people see it is some form of a shade that he was throwing to Iran, Israel, US and other countries they are so much into war in Brussels.
Yeah. Okay. Abusia video no ewo ho no mebra na mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Edison same way etudwa yenkwohye de odetu montin so ye ba ye beto aso.
What you're doing. But to conclude, let me put the Gavi replenishment in context. Gavi is seeking to spend $9 billion over the next 5 years from 2026 to 2030. And that is to immunize 500 million children across the world. These children's life will be safe to grow up to become the scientists, engineers, nurses, teachers, and doctors of tomorrow. This morning while I was lying in bed, I did the research. And I realized that one B-2 Spirit bomber that dropped bombs on Iran recently cost $2.13 billion. If you work the math, what Gavi is seeking is the value of 4 of those B-2 bombers. Surely the world can afford the value of 4 B-2 bombers to save 500 million children. It's a choice we have to make. It's a choice we have to make between taking lives and saving lives. And I'm sure that we will save lives instead of taking lives. And so, on behalf of the children of Ghana, I say thank you to Gavi. I say thank you to all who have pledged today. Thank you very much. God bless you.
That was President John Dramani Mahama. The speech I will come here Belgium no and as I breed ye no actually say mo amoto bombs no sika na mo de to bomb no etimije emofra enkwa na say ka be fo bom a ebetimi anya sika ye pe no e de age emofra wo mo eyare enkwa e wokrodwem ha na chese obi oto bomb na nzen ye hwan ya President Donald Trump. Chris, what has been the reaction so far about this ensema President John Dramani Diato Montenso?
Yes, it's a health and prosperity through immunization summit. Our core no, already speech no na or this 72 Ghana. Osha even in that auditorium one kasa no mo moti ho no mo bo nsem. First na ni bi ma na nke beka say e bibi ni akasa ma bro ni bo nsem. But see the yan it mo say I mean now we the blacks too and so boy homodin. So yes, the reaction has been kind of say mixed because now people are talking about the fact that utu more money for now utu or crowns so. Do you understand? Now, what about those who are almost nuclear bombs and also? What are you telling them? Do you understand? Now, these are people see say the B2 bomber operation now US Iran so was to prevent some future men can say future disasters be and and President Mahama also talking about the fact that those monies now they could prevent some future disasters. No, they could have used that money to help Gavi. Now, Gavi is Global Alliance for Vaccination and Immunization. So, they are looking for itself from next year up to 2030 on betting a vaccinated 500 million children for their growth and so reaction it has been mixed. I mean, people are talking about the fact that yes, it's a very good speech. It's a very good end. You know, when you are giving a speech, or say ending, no, I mean, you leave on a good note. And all free on some more kind. On his side, you could see said a transform. Because Gavi needs about $11 billion. And now, 4 planes, no, so I bomb 3 planes, no, 4 planes, no, bomb Iran, so it will be a 2.1. Okay, Kabuma, it's almost the money that the Global Alliance for immunization. So why don't we stop buying the planes and channel that money to saving lives rather?
Okay, so that means reaction is that they ask Amafu say, oh, and said that a big deal. He's actually saying the truth.
Yes.
I
mean, so the credit said these are some of the things that people find it very difficult to say.
It's a bold precedent.
Now listen, one thing that made him also say that when they were doing the contribution, so later we'll talk about how much everybody paid. When they were doing the contribution, US didn't pay.
Okay.
They have been the top contributor to Gavi.
Okay.
But at this very point, we have $11 billion. Amount for it, on that very day, they got $9 billion.
Okay.
You see, that is the actual amounts they need. But for other, and I bet me 11 point something billion. But contribution on the sports with some people pledging and all that. So many 9. But United States did not pay. They didn't give any money to Gavi. Whether as a pledge and as a donation, yes, you can donate on sport on the sports,
or you can pledge
and bring it later. But United States, Oman Farmer, and they cited the reason why Oman Farmer, but President Mahama felt say, I mean, you can spend all this money on war. But you say some of them will grow up to become president, so some engineers and all that to help the world. But meanwhile, there's like one country that can just pay everything and then we just get up and go. And another man pass a comment trying to throw a shade to the United States. I mean, but when you ska, B2 bomber,
Iran. You mentioned there was a reason to why US4 uncontributed to the contributions they were doing. Can you tell us about that reason?
Yes, so if the producer or the screenshots number 2 screens in this one, so Gavi contributions are not more year for more global immunization on this year for 500 million children. More breakdown and so target are normally yes never sending Ghana high say yen to boa. The target was 11.9 billion.
Okay.
For 2026 to 2030 period now total pledges was $9 billion, leaving a shortfall of approximately 2.9 billion. This year $2.9 billion and that 2.9 billion is one YouTube bomber.
Okay.
Do you understand? Now, so the key donors, this can be buy at that very moment. The UK pledged 1.2 billion pounds. And the Gates Foundation, Bill Gates, and also $1.6 billion. And the EU pledged 2 billion euros. Now, the US withdrawal This is the question you were asking me. The US previously was a major donor.
Okay.
But this time they did not pledge additional funds, citing concerns about vaccine safety and public trust.
Into the cracker.
Enti ohun say vaccine na yede ban. You see, when COVID-19 came, omo ano mo ye vaccines ni bi no. As of now, some of them doesn't still fall main kind of say under Trump.
Okay.
Do you understand? And ni nyina kan all this trade war now no more. Remember COVID came from China and all that. And as of now, they decided to withdraw because one, vaccine, the safety of the vaccine, that is the reason they are citing.
Okay.
But we almost said when President Trump came, was starting donors US aid near but the reason is vaccine safety and public trust. Now, focus areas they are supposed to ensure vaccine access in health crisis and supporting local vaccine production. So to expand vaccine programs and then impact and then additional financing. So that is the breakdown of the contributions on that particular day and the reason why the United States is withdrawing.
Okay. Ghanaians are concerned, said Donald Trump will be a sabe untimi kotia ne naso. Na unko scot free. Into the mampeni John Dramani Mahama yen. I said the wakutia mampeni Trump and naso no. We should bet me the instance so be able to my Ghana so.
Well, said the meeting can but your producer bet me a year free so say. Said the meeting can you know this and same way President Mahama can he didn't go direct to the point.
Okay.
He was just kind of throwing a shade.
Shade, they could be an new.
And I make us say on that particular day, US didn't contribute.
Okay.
And the US not contributing, it is a wake up call to them. Say they were able to do this. And it's the way, if we are contributing, they should contribute some.
Okay.
Until now, it is now that people will pick seminal kind and try to explain it to their own understanding. No one who say how heavy is what he said. Yeah, they who say he's throwing shades to war countries or more we know that he's throwing shades. And directly that particular day, the shade was going to the United States of America. Yes. And I mean, say a who's and I make us say when they pick what he said, now breaking it down. Whatever effects that will receive, I mean,
okay.
And yes, also, I mean, and then they just let it slide.
Okay. I will say, so that is all about Nsema. President John Dramani Mahama akoka about Donald Trump. Any B2 bomb ya wokoto no nanu ada. Yebeko so ama yini edisan semu ye chi. Every pemu ye demo update ebe ba beso.